Hello people, I hope you're all well, as always. Well, I was supposed to be camping last night, but I'm waiting for my new tent, which hasn't arrived. So today we're going for a walk. We're going to have a bit of lunch. And we're going to make some real coffee, real fresh ground coffee in a mocha pot. Oh, look at this tree. I'm not sure what these blossoms are, but the leaves make it look like some sort of chestnut, horse chestnut, sweet chestnut maybe. Not sure. Well, it was lovely and sunny when I was packing the lunch to come out, but now it's lashing down. I had the foresight to pack my poncho. It's the I think it's the woodland poncho that turns into a shelter. Yes. There we go. I have other ponchos, but this is the lightest. I haven't even chosen where we're going to go for lunch. I was a Boy Scout when I was young, so luckily I've had the foresight to pack a tarp. I always go that way. Shall we go this way for a change? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to find somewhere to set up and then we'll speak some more, so I'll speak to you soon. Well, the whole idea of the video has changed slightly. I was going to have a lovely fried egg sandwich, but it appears I've left my frying pan on the table in the house. But we're nothing if we're not adaptable. So what I've done is I've decided to have a boiled egg sandwich. But we've only brought so much water and quite a small container to boil it in. So we're going to change things up a little bit. Now, one of the things I was going to do in this is talk a bit about mocha pots. You see this little tiny one I've got in my hand? It's my this is my camping one. It makes an espresso, and this is my espresso cup. They go together so well. Now, friends, families, colleagues and other YouTubers, so many people I know who really don't understand how to use a mocha pot. So I thought I'd discuss a few of the pointers. There's a way of doing it, but there's no definitive way of doing it because everybody likes things different. But the point being is you have the chamber at the bottom, which you can see here. That's the chamber. And then your coffee goes around there, which is kind of close to the flames, to the heat source, whichever way you're heating these up. It's kind of close. So you don't want it sat in there too long. It will heat up and it will become bitter. You don't want that. You want the water to fill through it, take its goodness, rise into the top chamber, and you want it all to be nice and cool, the coffee to stay cool. You don't want it heating up too much. It does make a difference, I promise you. What else makes a difference is, if you can, if you have a grinder, don't buy ground coffee. Maybe buy a packet to stay, to have as an emergency measure or something. But if you can, buy the beans. That's nature's way of protecting that precious cargo inside the bean. I have my, this is the one I take camping with me. It looks heavy, but it's not. It's very light, and I've never weighed it actually, so I'm not sure what it weighs, but it's aluminium, so it's quite light. I bet the handle weighs more than the actual chamber itself. So where possible, buy coffee beans. It's not always possible. You might not be able to afford it, even though I'm pretty sure a bag of coffee beans is cheaper than a bag of ground coffee. But when you get to the bottom of the bag of ground coffee, a lot of its goodness, the aromas and the flavours have evaporated. No matter how well you do the bag up, or the tightness of the container you store it in, they will deteriorate. But they don't when you have coffee beans. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some beans in the grinder. We're going to grind it up. We're going to make some mocha pot coffee, and I'm going to just take you through a few steps of how it should be done. I brought some coffee beans with me, and we're going to put them in. Now, every grinder should have a way of making the ground coffee coarser or finer. On this one, it's here. If I turn that one way, it makes it finer. If I turn it the other, it makes it coarser or larger ground bits. Everybody's different. You'll have to mess around with yours until you find the way you like it. So, make a nice fresh ground. Come on. Even though we're outside and there's just been a bit of rain, you can smell that moist grass and plant and tree smell, and all the smells of nature. I can immediately smell the coffee grinds. They smell good. It doesn't take long to grind. There we go. And that's ground already. So what we're going to do is, as I was saying, you do not want your coffee sitting in that really hot pot, heating up. So you always add hot water to the mocha pot. I brought some water. Collins Outdoor Gear Essentials, brilliant place to get your any camping kit you need, small little accessories to tents. This chap goes above and beyond for every customer. If you can, look him up, go on his site. He's very reasonable prices. Right, so okay, we're going to put some water on to boil. Now some of you are going to be thinking, what a load of faff, what a load of hassle, what a load of nonsense just to make a cup of coffee. Well, yeah, you could say that, but once you get used to it, it's no more faff than any other kind of. This is the chamber where the coffee goes. That smells good. Could our water is boiling already. I'll have to wait a minute. We'll carry on. Oops. Never mind. Yes, water is definitely boiling. So, I've filled my chamber. Now I have spilt a bit, yes, but so I have filled it up and I leveled it off, but I didn't compact it down. You don't want to compact it down. You want the water to flow freely throughout it. And there's another way of dealing with that in a moment. So we fill our chamber. Well, we don't fill it. We go as far, ouch, 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 ouch. We go as far as the lug or the nut or the bolt, whichever you want to call it. Never cover that, it's a safety issue. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So there we go, we put our grinds in. Now instead of compacting it down, what you now do, this is where I'm going to scold myself, you pour some of your hot water over the top. There we go. So, our mocha pot is all primed. What we're going to do now is put it on, and we're going to leave the lid up. I want to I want to watch. I want to be able to see it come flowing out. Here it comes, here it comes. Well, that was disaster. I just spilt most of it. There we go, we take it off before it starts gurgling. That was a disaster. But we still got some left, so we'll be alright. Yep, half a cup left. Oh well. A rich, roast, flavoursome coffee that isn't bitter. Yeah. Okay. That's good. I'm gutted I spilled half of it. These things happen, and you know, it's live. I'm not going to edit any of that out. Okay. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Come on. Be gentle putting this in. That seemed to go well. Let's put the lid on to bring it up to some sort of boil. Alright. Well, let's hope everything's going well. Don't want it to boil over. But we do want a vigorous boil. I'll speak to you soon. We'll have a look in a few minutes. Okay. So I have boiled it for about 5 minutes. I've got to be sure. Just going to let it cool just a little bit while I get the bread ready, etc. Now, here's a bread. Luckily I buttered it earlier, as you see. Now this, in Scotland, this is the very end of the, well, everywhere it's the end of the bread, but in Scotland we call it an outsider, the outsider, because it comes from the very end of the slice of bread. And a lot of people fight over it. It's the, you know, it's a preferred slice, shall we say. Lots of other people detest that part of the bread. So we also have a very important thing. I only have HP, or brown sauce as we call it, on egg when it's fried. Normally my egg, poached, scrambled, omelette. It's the only time I ever have tomato ketchup. But I was going to have a fried egg today, which is why we have the HB sauce. Woohoo! It's just still roasting. Ouch. Now I'm going to show you something. A lot of you may understand and some of you may not. There's a lot of YouTube things of people eating these now. These were for my coffee after my lunch, and that's all gone upside down now. So these, as it says, are tea cakes by a company called Tunnocks. I'll still have them after my lunch, but unfortunately not with coffee. It's a glorious day. It is. Now, I'm not saying I'm a true ornithologist or bird watcher or... But there's a bird call. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to be quiet, see if you can hear it. There it goes. Dee-dee-dee. Dee-dee. Nobody's can hear it. It's not often I hear it is again. It's not often I'm stumped when it comes to bird songs. But this is very marshy land, as I've pointed out before. It seems to be coming from over there. Could be... That's the noise it's making. It has me stumped. Anyway. So, as we were talking about bread a moment ago, you tell me down in the comments, do you eat the crust or the... It's getting closer. I'll have a chance of spotting it. Yeah, let me know in the crust. Let me know in the comments if you eat the crust, the end of the bread, loaf of bread. I was thinking of getting up and going and having a look, and as soon as I thought of getting out of my seat and going and looking to see what... Oh, it's moved. You're wondering why I'm putting so much emphasis on this bird song? Because I do know an awful lot of bird songs, and this call I don't think I've heard before. But as I was saying earlier, this is marshland, and I don't know enough about my marsh birds. That's it, I've got to go and have a look. It is over in these trees. It's probably seen me and scarpered. Had to get up and ruin it, didn't I? Oh, we've got black clouds coming over. Let's get back to lunch. Let's try and get this done before it gets soaked. Okay. Well, that scared the bird off. going to leave my eggshell here because lots of animals eat eggshell. Oh, if there's anybody watching this who knows about birds, who can let me know what that... Oh, the wind's picking up. I think there's going to be a storm, you know. Right, let's try and get this done ASAP. Anybody know anything about birds? Can tell me what sort of bird that was? Ah, maybe you just couldn't hear it. Let me know in the comments. Oh, it's back. Yeah, as I was saying, lots of animals eat eggshell, and it's very good for them, full of calcium. So I don't consider myself to be littering as such. Here's the egg. Oh, it's not as hard done as I was expecting it to be. Not only did I forget the frying pan, I've neglected to bring any salt and pepper. Oh, the egg tried to escape, but we're not having that. So now we've got egg. Got a little bit of water left in case it's a bit dry. But luckily we've got butter and we've got brown sauce. I'm going to tuck into this. So I'll speak to you soon and I'll let you know how it was. And that was actually quite a good sandwich. I would have preferred the egg to be a little bit more runny, shall we say. Not quite as well done. But it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. So, the final part of lunch. If you're British, there's a pretty good chance you've had one of these. Look at it. Perfection. Now you may ask why it's called a tea cake. Well, in Britain, what you may term as a cookie, we call a biscuit. I know you have a different what you call biscuit. I think we call... Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, in Britain, our cookies, biscuits, things of that nature, they're practically all designed to be drank, to be eaten with a hot cup of tea, or nowadays coffee. Tea or coffee. The country is full of tea and coffee drinkers. So you might try a British biscuit and say that's terribly dry, that's very dry, it's not as much. No, it's because it's supposed to be dipped, or as we say, dunked. Where's your term slam dunk may have come from. It has to be dunked into the hot drink. So it doesn't matter how dry it is when you take it out of the packet, because it's terribly moist once you've dunked it into your hot drink. But let's have a look at these. So it has somewhat of a biscuit base, this amazing coverage of milk chocolate, and on the inside, I'll just take a bite so you can see. Oh yeah. On the inside, it's a very soft, very aerated kind of marshmallow. You can see the biscuit base, the covering of the chocolate. Is perfection. Perfection. So, I don't want you to hear my lips smacking and whatnot while I eat this, so I'll speak to you soon. That looks almost blue, but it's a black cloud. See? Not a bit of blue anywhere. The wind picked up. So, my dessert was perfection. I've packed everything away and left no trace apart from my eggshell, which is a little calcium hit for Mr. Fox, or some even birds eat eggshell, so whichever creature. Yeah, right. Let's start heading back before, because it feels as if there's going to be an electrical storm, and I don't want to be amongst the trees holding a metal tripod when that hits. Oh, and I can hear dogs. Oh, I hope the dogs don't eat the eggshell. It's for the wild animals. Right. So which way we're going? Let's go this way. Oh, kids on motorbikes. Oh, it's the weekend, isn't it? Right. If any kids on motorbikes appear, I'm going to put you down. One, I don't want to be recording kids, and two, they get kind of annoyed, thinking that you're some sort of grass. Well, I'm sorry it wasn't a camping video, but as soon as the new tent comes, we'll be out in it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, even though it's all over YouTube at the minute. Everybody else has got one. I was going to buy one last year, but I heard that they were making a... No, I'm not going to say too much about the tent. Doesn't feel as stormy now. No rain has come yet. Hopefully it might just blow over. Mind you, I should be home in a few minutes. 5 minutes or so. Whew. Getting closer to the motorbikes. So what I'm going to do is we'll call it quits here. Thank you very much for watching, and If you know what those birds were, or that bird was, please let me know in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to let me know if you prefer the crust, or you wouldn't touch the crust if it was the last piece of bread on earth. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, please press that subscribe button, comment, like, and most importantly of all, please take care of yourselves out there. It can be a rough old world. Speak to you next time.